In my entrepreneur interview, I interviewed a lifelong friend of mine. His name's Mike Robinson. He runs Robinson Quarter Horses. He was working in an industry and kind of was doing it on the side a little bit, and kind of thought that it would be a good opportunity for him to kind of move forward and jump in and make a living doing something he loved doing. So he jumped into the business world of running Robinson Quarter Horses. Um, he recognized that there was a niche out there for giving people a quarter horse that had certain aspects and certain feel for what he was looking for. And so what he did is he went out and he bought four mares, and he, you know, talked to a bunch of different people that were in his same niche that did the same thing but a little different. They were racing more racing horses, or more just horses with different types of value. And so his value was in a certain breed of a quarter horse that's more of a ranch type horse. And so he developed that, and he started along those lines. And then quickly he realized that he had kind of painted himself into a niche with one certain breed of type of horse. And so what he needed to do is he needed to kind of stretch out from that and grow and progress into something that was a little gave his customers a little more options. And then as that business progressed and he started making a living and making enough money to provide for his family, his daughter had went to school, and they ended up getting into the breeding program, and that's become a big staple of his business now. His daughter does breeding, and so they do a lot of mares, and they're bringing a lot of breeding stock in. And so they bought a stud and kind of invested in the business. One of his investors was his brother. He saw how the business was going and kind of bought in as a kind of a 50% partnership back in the day to kind of get him started and buy some additional, feed and mares and different things like that to try and grow his business. And now, as he continues to progress, they're providing many different services, from taking these colts and mares and selling them, and foaling the ones that he has that hit the ground, as well as taking some and keeping them to be 2 or 3 years old and selling them more as a finished product and a finished horse. So his big, the things that he mentioned and things that he did were, some of the things that we've talked about in this class, and things that really he took a passion that he knew a little bit about, that he was excited about, that he was willing to work for, and he kind of jumped in and just went full throttle. He says, if he wouldn't have, quit his job and really determined that there was a really opportunity for this, that he would have probably still been making $25,000-$30,000 a year, just kind of doing it as a side hobby instead of actually making a living doing what he loves, and really jumping in both feet. And that was one of his biggest mistakes, is just trusting in himself and having a belief in his own abilities to make that venture work. So some of the things I took out of that, that I thought were really impressive, is one is his ability to morph the business into what sells, and realizing that by expanding his customer base, he opens more doors and more opportunities, and also looking at different ways to make money that are just kind of the offshoots of the main business, which was really him having mares and foaling. And at this point he's 4 or 5 years deep, almost 5 years deep into the business. He now has over 80 mares that he works with. They also breed about 80 mares that are outside, and they ship and sell semen all over the world, for his couple stud horses that he's bought and that he now has at his place. So really a growing and expanding business, and his biggest concern is, the market and economy hopefully not ruining his opportunity if things tighten up. So that's my interview.